Hello everybody and welcome to AFE Gaming. This is Cribs coming at you with the latest headlines in the FPS world. In our last video on the channel, we talked about the allegations made by Kelly against HenryG. Well, we have an update on that. We've also got an update on when gla1ve and Xyp9x will return to Astralis according to Device himself. And finally, there's the latest VALORANT patch, and sadly you'll have to wait a little more time to grind ranked matches. Let's get started. British CSGO talent HenryG aka HenryG was recently called out by his ex-girlfriend and cosplayer Kelly, who alleged that he verbally, emotionally and mentally harassed her. Henry has now come out publicly and shared his side of the story. He started by acknowledging that the nearly 2-year-long relationship was indeed emotionally charged, toxic and destructive. Nevertheless, he claims that he never sexually or physically abused Kelly or anyone else. He goes on to state that, "I cannot speak for her, but I must be clear that her description of the events on New Year's Eve is simply not accurate or true." Let's go over both sides of the story. Kelly says that she met Henry at somewhere around 1:30 AM to smoke weed. She revealed that she rarely smokes and is not really smart at inhaling the right amount. She allegedly ended up smoking too much and started getting spinning vertigo. She describes that at that moment she was not fully cognizant by any stretch. At this point, she claims that Henry got frustrated after repeatedly hearing that she wasn't interested in having sex because she was too high. In stark contrast to this, Henry claims through his statement that he was initially reluctant to see her smoke up and that it was Kelly who initiated sex after that, but she started feeling unwell and then stopped. Henry claims that he spent the rest of the night awake and keeping an eye on her because she wasn't feeling well. He also claims that the New Year's Eve incident became the focal point for Kelly after they separated. He then goes on to share screenshots of WhatsApp messages that he claims are sent by her. Over and above, Henry also claims that despite telling her not to, Kelly continued to visit his home. He claims to have taken steps to resolve their differences to move forward with their separate lives, but that never helped because Kelly continued to persistently contact Henry's partner, family and colleagues. In concluding statements, Henry claims that he has lived under the constant threat of Kelly putting either true or untrue details of their relationship on Twitter, and that he stands in support of all the women who have come forward and shared their experiences of sexual harassment. He ends by saying, "Out of both respect and privacy, I won't be commenting further on this matter." It remains to be seen how Kelly responds to this. A link to the full story on our website can be found in the description. Now onto the hot topic of CSGO esports. When gla1ve and Xyp9x took a medical leave from Astralis citing burnout and stress, it was the talk of the town. We now have finally some indication of when the 4-time major winners could return to their roster. While the organization hasn't talked much about their returns, saying that it could be anywhere in 3 months to the end of the year, Device says that we can expect one of them at least to return soon. While on the HLTV Confirmed podcast, the Danish legend said that gla1ve will be back on the server in some time in August, but couldn't talk about any date for Xyp9x. He also mentioned that this is tentative and didn't want to put any form of pressure on his teammates for a quick return. Astralis have publicly announced that they want to build a 10-man squad, which is already underway with the signing of Yugi and S-Tag. However, their closed doors for management and motives have been criticized because of how they've handled player burnout in the last 12 months. Finally, let's talk about the new kid on the block. VALORANT has been releasing a flurry of content around their game with storylines and patch updates. They earlier talked about competitive mode coming to the game soon, while patch notes 1.02 talked about a fresh menu UI, a surrender option, and balances for Viper, Jet and Reyna. They have told us to stop spamming them for now because competitive mode would go live. Unfortunately, they later tweeted that they found another bug that puts competitive at risk, so they're holding it off for now. The other things that the patch notes talk about are the top rank now being called Radiant instead of Valorant, the slowing effect after getting hit by a bullet, tagging, some weapon, map and mod adjustments, and a bit of performance updates. Where do you think the HenryG issue is headed? And how long do you think gla1ve and Xyp9x make their return? And when do you think we will finally have ranks to boast about in Valorant? Let us know in the comments below. For now, we're gonna go AFK, and we'll see you in our next video.